What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Let's get right off into this. L.O.M clothingstore.com, man. Support the real. L.O.M clothingstore.com. And remember, loyalty has nothing to do with someone else, but has everything to do with who you are. Let's get right off into this. Shouts out to the owners, Rob and Duck, and thank you for this opportunity. But let's get off into this, man. Let me give y'all the first opening intro to the L.O.M Chronicles, the breakup. All right? Let's go into this, man. First, how did I end up even involved? How did I get here? How did this happen for me before I even open this up? Well, we saw in the math battle versus Hollow, a lot of things was open to the public that they wasn't aware of. Math third round was a phenomenal third round, man, versus Hollow. And if y'all go back and watch that battle, it's only so much you could do in one verse. Well, I have a lot of time, and I'm going to give you that and so much more. Some people was asking me like, Maliki, you can't really talk about this stuff if you ain't hear Hollow side. First of all, this is why we talking about it, because we heard Hollow side first. Don't be that way, Jim. Look, you got to call it fair for both parties. If it wasn't no problem when Hollow came forward saying these things, nobody asked to hear from Duck and Rob side of the point of view. Nobody at all. So since it's Hollow, we not finna do the popularity over truth type stuff. That's not finna happen. We not finna do that. That's one thing I've never been a part of. We not finna do that just because Hollow is popular and he the one known and these two brothers not known. We just gonna honor him and believe what Hollow say over the realities and truth that's at hand. Which brings me to the point of when some people was asking me questions like, but Truth, if you ain't hear Hollow side, why would I need to hear Hollow side when we got videotapes, we got audio tapes, we got documents and things like that, proof of paperwork? That speaks for itself. You don't need to hear somebody's side when you got that. Then you got two other people who giving their side countering what he was saying. Then I have to believe in what's really real and true going from them, because they the one got the facts, the paperwork, the contracts, the audio. So it's obvious they in the right and they know more when you see that Hollow and ducking to even go to court to get justice, the place where you're supposed to get justice. Some clown to say, oh, it ain't no justice in the judicial system for a black man. Well, these two black people going in there, so now what? Anyway, with that being said, what got me this story and was this. Duck and Rob, this story was out here already. A lot of people with big platforms in the battle rap media didn't want to touch on the story due to their relationships with Hollow the Don. They didn't want to touch on this story, seeing that Hollow was in the wrong. And they didn't want to touch on it because Hollow was in the wrong, because they didn't want to speak against him to break relationships with Hollow due to what they would have to report and what they would have to say. So since Hollow was the one in the wrong, some of y'all big battle rap media platforms did not want to touch on this story at all because of their relationships with Hollow. But if it was the other way around and Hollow was in the right, then they would be touching this, saying how Hollow was robbed, how Hollow was played. Right. They're just going to show you how off balance and fake people can be. But since, again, these brothers ain't the one that's popular in front of the camera, they tend to be always looked at the one that's in the wrong. Just like you see a lot of that stuff happen with the Michael Jackson situation. Oh, Michael Jackson wouldn't rape nobody. He's a good performer. He gives to people. He take care of people. We like his music. We like his albums. And all along he molesting these babies. But because these babies ain't on camera and they ain't popular and they don't have no name and they considered as nobodies, Michael Jackson tended to be in the right and not the victims. You see this happening all the time. But there has to be a line between popularity and truth. It don't matter how popular a person is. What's the truth? If the truth is you did this wrong, I don't care how popular you is. You out of pocket and you bogus. You need to be called out on your actions. And this what brought me to this situation right here. Because they was afraid to touch on this because Hollow was in the wrong. Battle rap media platforms, the big ones, tried to sweep this under the rug. It was sent to me. I looked into it. I heard the audio tapes. I even played one on my show. If you look up exclusive audio, if you type up Battle Truth, Hollow the Don, exclusive audio, you will see it on there too. That was just one tape. It's more than that. But anyway, when I heard it, I'm like, man, this dude out of pocket, he bogus. Then I brought it to the forefront, which Duck and Rob end up watching it and seeing it like he the only one really on it telling the truth. But it's a lot he don't know that he's not informed on. So they reached out to me to give me the full scoop, the whole story on everything. I spoke on them phone with them brothers for hours. And we ended up even getting into other things. And them brothers was very disappointed and mad at the shadow and dark cloud that Hollow put on their name and their brands, knowing that he was the one that wronged them, that robbed them, that snaked them, that ratted them. And people sitting here praising him for being a rat when he the one that actually robbed them. Now, the thing about the Mav Hopper situation was here. Mav said it, Mav broke it down, but because Mav got sort of like a bad name in battle rap for beating up on people and bullying people, sometimes when he's saying something and he in the right, even though we see him right now cleaning up his image, showing a lot of maturity and handling business or on a more respectable level, he still have that dark cloud and shadow over him too. So even though he's saying it, breaking it down and it's real, it's not really being effective as it could be because it's coming from Mav. It's still coming from Mav. The NYB bully. That's how they looking at him. They ain't looking at him trying to change and do better. They still see the New York bully. Come in.
When your puppies was up under this thing right here.
Okay, I get it.
She does boo-boo or something.
All right. the New York bully. So with that being said, they don't receive it right. The way they don't want to receive it, and it's not impactful as it could. But this is what I'm known for. I'm Battle Truth. I bring you the truth. It don't matter. I don't care who it is, and I break it down and give it to you in the raw. And they gave me full authority to tell their story and the real deal of what happened. And they ain't hiding nothing from nobody. The books is open to look in. You also invited to come to court. That's taking place December 17th. That's taking place December 17th in New York City if you don't believe these facts. The same court date Hollow is trying to dodge. When y'all go back and you look at the battle between Mav and Hollow, Mav third round was actually a subpoena in that third round. In that third round, that was a real subpoena that was given to Hollow because he had been ducking, allegedly, these subpoenas. I'm only saying that for protection rights. But other than that, come on now. But the lawyer, Duck and Rob's lawyer, was actually in the crowd the day of that event. In fact, on my Patreon, I'm going to do a breakdown on this on my Patreon. Well, I'm gonna show the video footage and show y'all some things because I don't know if I could do it on this YouTube, but I'm gonna do it on my Patreon. I'm gonna show some video footage and breaking down some things. Um, but the lawyer was actually at the event. In math, third round, he was serving Hollow with the papers. He was serving Hollow with the papers. That's what that was. Now, in the process of him serving Hollow with the papers, Hollow ended up not taking the paper. But since he was present there with it, it was considered him being served. And the lawyer observed it and watched it. Hollow was given 45 days by the judicial system, New York judicial system, to come up with a lawyer to represent him on the charges that he's facing against the L.O.M. clothing store with Duck and Rob. Okay? I'm going to be covering this thing because I'm going to give it to y'all in the raw, and I'm going to show y'all what's been going on. You're going to hear video. You're going to see documentations. And you're going to come up with your own assessment. And you're going to be amazed at what this brother been doing to people. Not only Duck and Rob, but it's a few more people that he been doing wrong to. So we see part of his character even when we seen what happened in the Mav Hopper thing. Y'all have to remember, Mav didn't have a problem with disaster. That was Hollow's problem. Mav and Hollow was buddies. Mav stepped in to help Hollow when disaster was pressing Hollow. Mav ended up getting into it with disaster behind trying to defend Hollow. Only for Mav to get jumped in the process because of him helping Hollow by disaster and his guys. That Hollow ended up being cool with after they jumped and beat up Mav in California because of Mav assisting Hollow. They go now if that don't tell you something, what should? Come on now. I got jumped because of you. And you kicking in and smoking blunts with the same people that jumped me because of you? Come on, man. And then you trying to get mad at me about it? Remember that. So that's just an example of the brother's character. So this right here shouldn't be strange to people. And as men, let's stop worshiping and praising people just because they popular and hold people accountable to the truths and error that they are in. Simple as that. That's fair enough for me and any other real person. And because I wasn't afraid to touch on this story and put it out there, they trusted me to be the one to tell the story in full detail, graphic detail, with evidence. And I'm going to do that. So that's why I was called to duty. Because I'm the one who they feel can be trusted to do such. And tell it just as it is and don't sugarcoat anything. And be the mediator between the two. So this narrative Hollow, so let me just tell y'all something. This narrative Hollow putting out there like saying, oh, they threatening my life is in danger. Let me tell y'all something. I know this to be true. That is a lie. Just like Mal came and said it was a lie, I'm here to tell you also, backing up what Mal said, that's a lie. But a person may say, how you know it's a lie, True? If his life is endangered and he's been threatened in any way, why haven't he presented any proof of it? No phone calls, no messages. This is the era of social media. Everything is recorded and screenshotted. Everything is for proof. Then you also got to keep in mind they also know him as a person who called the police. He's known for reporting and calling the police on people. They also got that recorded and documented also because he did it before. So then you also got to keep in mind, they the ones that sending him to court. They the ones that got charges on him. They the ones who taking him to court. So that don't make no sense. Why am I trying to harm you, kill you, when I'm the one taking you to court. When I'm the one taking you to court. You not taking me to court, I'm taking you to court. And if I'm trying to hurt you and do all this, like Duck and Rob said, challenge him to show proof. Because they don't like that, because they know that hurt their business, because they got other businesses. And if it's known out there in the business world that they own some of this type of stuff, that could hurt them financially. Not only could it hurt them financially, it also puts their life in jeopardy, because what if some of his deranged, crazy fans think he trying to do something to them, and then they want to do something to them to try to defend Hollow in his safety. They also spoke about that. They also spoke about they hate the fact where he threw that out there just because he in the wrong, and know that he's going to lose this case for him robbing them, to the point that he trying to sabotage the brand so people won't support the L.O.M, the real L.O.M clothingstore.com. So he trying to sabotage that name and brand, seeing that he is in danger of losing it. That's another thing people don't know. Hollow is not the sole proprietor of the company. This was a 50-50 split contractual with Hollow and Rob. Rob owned 50% of it. Hollow owned 50% of it. No ifs and buts about it. So for clowns and people just talking, don't be one of them people just saying stuff off of friendlyship and favor, like you actually in a relationship with this man, like you actually family and friends with this man. Take the facts that's out there as they stand and make an assessment off of those truths. That's why he being brought to court. He don't own the company. Rob owns just as much percentage of the company as he do. So all that's important to know. Okay? So they don't like that. The fact that he put that out there and lying on them like that. And they were very mad about that situation. And they hate the fact that the battle rap community actually believe in it to some. First of all, a lot of real people don't believe that trash. Because here's the thing. If you in danger like that, where's the proof? Why haven't you went to the police to report anything? You go any other time. What are screenshots? What a phone call? What sign or what did you see or experience that make you believe your life is threatening, you in danger? When these brothers the ones that risk it all. They got the first of all, this case is a slam dunk closed case and on their behalf. So they definitely win in that. Ain't nothing he can do to do that. Why would we try to kill you when we know we won? We know we won. You the one ducking justice. You the one not trying to show up at court. You the one that's in the wrong. We got paperwork proving we own half the company and spent thousands of dollars in it, and we haven't received a nickel yet. Not one penny. Not one nickel. So all the L.O.M clothing line that's been bought and people buying, the guys who actually putting the money in it ain't seen a penny yet. So this narrative of them robbing him and this narrative of them wanting to just get paid off him, eat off him, or how when they haven't received nothing since 2014. We're gonna get deep off into that. And this is what I'm trying to tell y'all people, what y'all don't know. What y'all don't know. We're going to get to the root and the heart of this whole entire matter, because I've been called to duty. And I'm going to break this down piece by piece by piece. And this is just the opening. And I'm giving my reason of why I was called to handle this, to actually put the real truth out there, to expose Hollow on these lies and corruption and deception he been doing to the battle rap community and deceiving a lot of people. And you're going to find out who's the real L.O.M, who's the real loyal T over money, who's the real people that's actually helping out brothers and sisters and providing ways for brothers to provide and take care of their families. We're going to see and that's another common sense. If Hollow, think about this, y'all. Just use your brain. If Hollow, the founder of it, and he ran it, and he was doing such a good job at what he doing, how did Rob and Duck even get called to come in? What happened? What happened? If you were so successful doing this since he would keep in mind he was doing this since 2010. Rob come in 2014. That's 4 years. So you were doing this in 2010 without Rob. Why did Rob have to be called on? How did he end up coming in owning half of the company if you so successful in taking care of business and doing what you're supposed to be doing? How did he even come in to own half of the company you founded and started? That go to show y'all what he was doing. Couldn't manage funds. According to his words, misusing the funds, not knowing how to really protect the inventory, don't know how to set up a real license to own as an operating true company. All that stuff mattered, and that's why they were called in, and they put in their thousands of dollars to clean up a lot of that mess that he had, funds that he owed, taxes he wasn't paying, setting up licenses and things for this brother. So we gonna get all off into that. Y'all gonna hear the whole true lowdown of everything that's taking place, and I'm gonna give it to you play by play. So you don't want to miss an episode. You do not want to miss an episode of the L.O.M. Chronicles, the breakup. And this is just part one of why I was called to duty. And I'm the best man fit to handle this job, to give it to you in a raw and break it down in a way where everybody that's real and got some type of sense could really get a clear picture of what took place. And you already gonna know the end results. So with that being said, it's your boy Battle Truth. LOMclothingstore.com. Support the real. Loyalty has nothing to do with somebody else, but it has everything to do with who you are, man. It's your boy Battle Truth. If you rock with me and you support me and the things I do, man, check this out. Click the link in the description box. Join my Patreon, man. I got kill shots on there, roasting sessions, master smack, ARP, music, pages, chapters of my life. It's so much over there, it ain't even funny. So you definitely get your money's worth for everything. It's your boy Battle Truth. It ain't my judgment that's in question. It's yours. Thank you for all your support, all your love. This part one of the L.O.M. Chronicles, the breakup, part one. Be on the lookout for part two.